Good afternoon. It is August 1, 2020, and this is the latest update on the Facebook drilling site, Tierra del Mar. And I'm talking right now from the site, and you can see that the drilling site is right behind me, and on the other side is the beach. We have learned over the past about 10 days that there was a catastrophic failure by the Facebook project off of the shoreline at Tierra del Mar. This failure happened on April 28th, and we are now only getting some of the information. The failure was the drill pipe snapped, or the drilling mechanism snapped underneath the ocean floor. This occurred on April 28th, but Facebook did not report the issue to the state agencies until June 17th. Here's what we know so far in terms of what has been left underneath the ocean floor. Let me check my notes here. All right, the equipment that's been abandoned consists of 1,100 feet of drill pipe, a drill tip, a gyro module, a steering tool of some sort, and Facebook is reporting 6,500 gallons of drilling fluid have been abandoned underneath the sea floor. This is approximately 40 to 69 feet beneath the floor of the ocean, and Facebook is claiming that it does not pose a threat. There is no information available at this point in time as to why Facebook took 50 days to report this to the Department of State Lands and the Oregon Parks and Recreation Department. That's DSL and OPRD, if in the event I refer to those as acronyms in the future of this conversation. Another interesting note is that DSL and OPRD took another 37 days to advise the residents of Tierra del Mar that this information had been provided to them. At this point in time, we do not know why Facebook had a 50-day delay, and we also do not know why it took another 37 days for our state agencies to advise its citizens. There is no clarification at this point as to whether for example, 6,500 gallons of drilling fluid underneath the seafloor poses a toxic hazard to either the residents of Tierra del Mar or to the marine environment. It should be noted that there is no independent confirmation of all this information that has been provided by Facebook to the state authorities. So, in one regard, we have no idea whether this is correct information or whether it's even truthful information. And we are pretty much at the mercy of Facebook telling us what they have done, pretty much because our state agencies either lack the expertise to get an independent verification, or perhaps even lack the motivation. Another aspect of Facebook taking 50 days to advise the state agencies of what had happened is that because of that delay, Facebook is now claiming that these materials that have been left are irretrievable. In other words, they've been abandoned by Facebook underneath the ocean floor. So not only do we have an accident that happens and we have material left, but Facebook is now saying, oh, we can't come and clean up our mess. This is I once described this to one of the state agencies as, this is a classic littering thing. We know the person left litter. We know who the person is that left the litter in state property. And now that person is saying, but I can't pick up the litter. And the state agencies are still trying to figure out, well, what do we do next? Obviously, part of our problem here is that we as just residents of a little shore community do not have the expertise to even know what questions to ask Facebook. And technically, we didn't have the expertise to know what to ask them when they were coming in here and giving the big bamboozle story to us all. Unfortunately, neither do the state agencies or the county officials understand the project, how it works, and know the details. So we're all left in the dark, and we're at the mercy of Facebook telling us how great and glorious a project is going to be and what wonderful things they're going to do for us all. One way to look at this project is if Facebook had come in and said to the county authorities and the state authorities, we're going to do a drilling project, but in the process we're going to leave a lot of equipment underneath the seabed, and we're going to leave 6,500 gallons of drilling fluid under the seabed, and we'll never be able to get that stuff. Would the state and would the county have approved this project? And the answer is probably not. But the reality is this has happened. We know that this has happened, and now they're going to come back. Should the state and should the county allow these people to come back now that we know what has already happened? So it reminds me of the quote by Donald Rumsfeld. And one of his famous quotes was, "There are things that we know that we know. There are things that we know that we don't know. But the thing that scares us the most are the things that we don't know that we don't know."